Okay, so we are at the corner of 23rd and Eucalyptus, and this is where intersection analysis number 2 begins. What's going to happen is I'm going to walk the perimeter of the assigned blocks, and I'm going to film it so you guys can have a recording of the topography. Now, I'm going to do the perimeter, and then I'm going to do the inside blocks. And so when I do the inside blocks, there's the 5 inside blocks: 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, and then Inverness, or whatever it's called. Now, what you can hear behind us, that is the perpendicular traffic. That is the perpendicular line of traffic that is happening here at Eucalyptus. So you can tell it's a little bit busier because it's in the early afternoon. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to walk down this block on the north side. So this is the north facing direction. I'm going to be heading north, then I'm going to cross at the ocean side and head south, and then cross over here at the Eucalyptus side. Okay, so every time I'm heading north, I'm going to try and be on what I call the left side of the street, and when I'm heading south, I'm going to be on the right side of the street. I'm just going to keep that consistent through all the videos. Okay, all right, hopefully that works for you guys. Okay, here we go. We're walking on the north-facing side. So this is we're walking in the north-facing direction. I'm calling this the left-hand side. Okay. So what we're coming up to are a series of small trees. They're not exactly parkways, but there's 3 of them in a row, and then there's a light post. We're just going to walk around this real quick. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Okay, so I walked this route a minute ago, but the audio was messed up, so I'm just going to very quickly narrate what I said earlier again. As we're heading towards the midway point, we're going to kind of get to this fence, this white fence. Now, the student's not necessarily going to see that or find it, you know what I mean? But what's going to happen is you can use that as a reference. Here's the main construction thing, this wall of plywood, and it's not even plywood, it's fiberboard. Ugh. Okay, so now we're going to be coming up on the corner. It's an uncontrolled corner. You can see the traffic's rolling right on through. We are walking north. This is parallel to 19th Avenue. So 19th Avenue runs basically from the 280 all the way up north to the Golden Gate Bridge through Golden Gate Park, and keeps going on through. All right, so here we are at the corner. Got some truncated domes, a weird electrical box in the middle, kind of like a little curb thing. I can aim at it. There's the little curb thing. There are domes. You can see the markings of the street. We're now going to walk. This is the fancy house with the fancy gate. It's got a nice fancy stone gate, so I'm calling this the fancy house. Okay, here we go. They got the nice stone. That's the first corner. Okay, now we're rounding. We're heading south. I'm calling this, you know, the right-hand side. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now this light post is about halfway. I'd say the halfway mark on the block is somewhere between this light post on this side of the street and the weird little white fence that's on that side of the street. So keep that in mind. Also, down the line, you're going to see some orange cones. You're going to need to mark that down because Wendy Schaefer has talked about being mindful of changes in your landmark environment or whatever. The landmarks in the environment or whatever it is, you know, that characterizes the environment. There's a change over there. So we got a couple more trees. On this side, just 2. On the other side, there's 3. So we got a pair of 2 and then a triplet on the other side. All right. I don't know if you can see those cones better now, but we're coming up to them and you're going to see what I'm talking about in just a second. Okay, we are at eucalyptus again, and here is what I'm talking about with the cones. This used to be, I zoom out, this used to be a light post. You can see that it's been ripped out. Today's Wednesday, so this is fairly new. The cones look new, they don't look dirty, they don't look like they've been rained on. So that probably, those cones probably got put here earlier in the week, maybe even earlier today. I don't know what the deal is, if they plan on ripping this out and putting a new one in, but they're probably not going to do it anytime soon. So that looks relatively new. You should probably mark it down on your assignment. All right, I'm going to cross the street now. And that guy totally rolled the stop. So this area gets kind of busy. Okay, we are back at Eucalyptus and 23rd. Those are the truncated domes, and those are the crossing marks. Okay, you see a stop sign mark right there painted on the street. There's a stop sign mark painted on that side of the street over there, a white one over there, and another white one over there. And then of course you got a big old light post. Okay, I think that should do it. I'm going to go on to the next block. Okay, we are now at Eucalyptus and 24th. That is the Ralph Nicole, or maybe it's Rolf Nicole playground. This is again next to the school that's over there. Okay, so here we are again at the corner, and you can look at the street markings. We're gonna go over the street markings one more time at the end. All right, here we go, we're moving. Okay. So what I want you guys to notice, there's a chain link fence, and that's kind of a landmark because if your kid's following the inside shoreline, they're gonna find it. So you'll probably be able to use that as like a landmark. Let's keep going, okay? So we're going, and here's the light post, and this is not quite halfway, but not quite a quarter, it's like a third. And on the opposite side of the street, we have another light post. It's kind of like a third of the way there, or something like that. All right, a lot of nice little parkways up here. I guess you could say like little front yard grass lawn patches and gardens and stuff. No driveways, so you'd really have to veer hard to go up like a walking path like that. You have to really veer hard. So sidewalk recovery in this area is pretty easy. All right. Looks like we got another fancy house. We got another house with a fancy kind of stone pillar gate. So let's just keep walking. Here we are at the corner. There's what appears to be a fire meter. These things are really old. They were an old way of calling the firemen to a block. Here we got our wedge-shaped truncated domes. This is, I guess, an obstacle, I guess, or a landmark. Here we are looking at the street. We are crossing. There's like a half-painted line to indicate that there's a stop there and also a cross there. Here's another house with a fancy front yard and fancy gate. Now we are heading south on 24th. So this is, I'm going to call this technically the right-hand side. So when you're heading north, I'm calling that the left-hand side, and when you're heading south, we're calling that the right-hand side for ease of simplicity. Obviously, I know you wouldn't do that for the assignment, but just so you can keep track of where you are in the video, you'll know what it is I'm talking about and where it is I'm walking. All right, so there weren't any major trees on the north left side, north side. But there's, looks like to be two big trees, not really low-hanging branches. I think that branch is taller than me. I'm 6 feet tall, just shy of 6 feet. I'm like 5'11". I definitely am going to walk into these bushes, but this branch right here, let's look at this branch. This branch, whoops, just bumped the microphone. You can see that that branch is much taller than me. So if I'm just shy of 6 feet, that's probably about 6'5". Anybody in your group that's taller than that's probably going to bump into it. But that's not quite a low-hanging branch. I'd say if the branch was 6 feet, then it would be low-hanging, because a good portion of your adult male students would probably bump into it. Okay, here we go. Coming to the end of Eucalyptus. And here's 24th. Let's take a look at the markings. We got yellow markings here. None crossing that way, none crossing that way. We do have truncated domes, and of course truncated domes. Okay, on to the next one. Across the street. Okay, that is the end of that clip. Okay, we are now standing at 25th and Eucalyptus. The sun is setting, so it's going to make seeing the sign a little bit hard. But we are at 25th and Eucalyptus. We got like a nice little one-story building over here, and we got this fancy building over here. I actually kind of like the curvature of that. The architecture is kind of cool. Needs to be updated, but it's a pretty cool building. Alright, so we're walking. We've already got a tree and some support poles for the tree. Let's keep walking. Looks like we got another pattern to these light posts. It looks like they're about 1/3 of the way, and then somewhere in between the two light posts is the halfway point of the block. That's what I would estimate from walking this. Alright, we got the house with the lions. That's kind of cool. Nice yard decorations. I don't know. Got this big old truck with a bunch of graffiti on it. I like that. That's kind of cool. Mission Chips logo. Alright, so not really too many obstacles on this side besides that light post and that weird early tree that had the two support poles. Besides that, really nothing in this area. Some trees on the inside shoreline. Again, heading north. Calling this the left-hand side. Alright. And now I'm going to flip around and head south in just a minute. There's like a little drop-off here, so if the kid veers, they could get like a weird little drop-off right here. Like if they step right like that. And it's not too far, so you can see the seam where the sidewalk continues in the driveway, but that's not really too much to worry about. We got another one of those fire poles that's still here. This is for calling the old fire departments back in the day. So here we go, across the street. We've got markings on all four corners, white stripes, truncated domes on all four corners. There's 8 sets of truncated domes. There's 2 sets of domes on each corner. So this is kind of like a nice, pretty well laid out corner. We got another fancy house. This time it has fancy stairs. And we're gonna keep walking. Got a nice tree here. We just went by 2 poles. Got another tree here. Big old light post. Okay. So here's the light post. Looks like 2 more trees. two more trees in front of us, and then one kind of isolated lonely tree by himself way back at the end, right in front of the light post with the signs. So I'm just going to keep this going. This battery's going to run out in a minute. I'm going to swap them out. Alright, let's keep going. A lot of nice front yards, not too many hazards. Sidewalk is very even. Here we go, here we go. So here are those, oh, it's not one tree, it's actually two trees. I didn't see the second one behind it. I thought I just saw the one here, but there's two. So there's two little trees here on this side and then the light post. Okay, here we go. We're now going to cross. Here we go. Okay, quick intersection analysis. There are no markings whatsoever. No markings going south and no markings from the south side coming north, and there's no markings in between. There are truncated domes on one corner over there. You can kind of see where I'm pointing right there, that weird little yellow strip right there. That's a truncated dome. There's kind of like a lip right there to go into that driveway. There's domes here, domes there, and they all have slopes to them. Okay, that's the end of that clip. Okay, we are now at Eucalyptus and 26th Avenue. Sun is starting to go down some more, but still got a nice beautiful view of the city. We'll do the intersection analysis here at the end. I'm just going to walk the block. We got some nice pavers here, a pole, another pole. You'll find these pavers pretty easily if you're watching the inside shoreline. All right, let's keep moving. So we got a light post up ahead, and then after that light post, what will happen for again that's about a third of the block. So somewhere in between those two light posts is about the halfway mark. So that'll give you reference for time distance. I'm just going to keep rattling that off. It's pretty consistent across all the blocks, those two light posts that are roughly each on 1/3 of the block. Oh wow, this is a really nice house. I like the little balcony with the supports. It's not a real balcony that you can walk on, but it's very decorative. It's kind of cool, and I like the door. It's a nice house. Anyway, we got a nice clear pathway in front of us. Very few obstacles. This is probably one of the easiest blocks to travel. Very few trees, very few light posts. All right, so we're coming up to a light post at the end of the block. This is the intersection of 26 and Ocean. This particular part of the intersection seems busier, and that's because up ahead there's actually kind of a stop sign. There's a four-way controlled stop over there. Here, this is totally uncontrolled. So the through street, which is Ocean, is totally uncontrolled. That end is controlled, all four-way control. Here, only two-way control. And yeah, there's truncated domes. Not a bad spread. You got one here, two over there, one here. So pretty good. You got bike lanes, by the way, going down Ocean. There's bike lanes. So technically, you got to cross a parking lane, a bike lane, a travel lane for the cars, another travel lane for the cars, the other side bike lane, the other side parking lane, then you're on the inside. So that's the widest street you can cross according to Wendy. Got one tree here, another tree here. No real low-hanging branches, just lots of little foliage. But yeah, so the most you can technically cross is a single set of driving lanes, and the widest single set of driving lanes you can cross will have technically 6 lanes. 2 for the cars, 2 for bicycles, and 2 for parked cars. I think that's about as wide as it can get. The second they start installing a meridian line, that makes the street wider. So note that down for the assignment. Just gonna keep moving. Okay. Very few obstacles. You're trailing the inside shoreline. You got a nice grass patch to work with. All right, let's keep going. Almost at the corner. Okay, here we are. Okay, we're gonna cross now. Okay, done that. Now I'm gonna plant the camera and we're gonna do the intersection analysis. Again, this is 26 and eucalyptus. Okay, intersection analysis. We got yellow lines, truncated domes, nice contoured sidewalk to step up. Right over there, there's a yellow box. I'm pointing directly at it. That's going to be the next series of contours, and or not contours, truncated domes. There's a small set of truncated domes right over there. There's a small set of truncated domes right over there. There's a 3-way yellow stripe control to, or not control, but 3-way yellow stripe marking to designate the cross. It is a 4-way control, or well, all-way control. It's technically 3 ways. You got a stop right over here. That little metal thing that I'm tapping my finger on, that's actually a stop sign. Obviously, going along eucalyptus, you don't need a stop sign. That's the back side of a stop sign right there. And then we got one, obviously, right here, a back side right there. Okay, there's some people crossing on the block that I need to analyze, so I'm going to buy some time and do this in a different way. So what's going on right now is we got the intersection analysis here. We've got a clear stop sign right there. That's that pole. You can't really see it because it's not facing us, but we got a nice yellow control. This block does not have the word stop written in front of it, but it does say, I'm going to kind of point it as best as I can. See that patch of reflective material right there? So it's going to say stop, slow, school, Xing. So the closest one, which is furthest from us but the closest to the traffic, is going to say slow. The middle one says school, and the one that is physically closest to us standing here is going to say Xing, right? So it's just a traffic reminder marking. Right there we got another yellow crosswalk. And we got one right here. Okay, so got some people washing their cars, so we might have to kind of go past them real quick. This block seems busier. All right, we got our regular 1/3 of the way in light post. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Not too much in the way of obstacles. Nice wide sidewalk. Still fairly even if it's been patched up. I can't really tell that there's any cracks around here. Some small nice gardens and parkways out front. We're gonna go by the guy washing his car. We're gonna step around. Okay, so we're on the other side. You didn't really miss anything. It was a clear street. Okay, here we go. We are now at the light post at the end of the block. Okay, so let's do analysis real quick right here, just like a quick observation. Okay, so for starters, no crosswalk here, totally uncontrolled. You can't really cross here. You can cross elsewhere on Ocean, but not on this particular part of Ocean. There are truncated domes, and there are notations for where you need to stop, for cars to stop, but there really isn't much in terms of pedestrian protection. So let's walk to the other side. Okay, yeah, and all four corners have those truncated domes. Okay, this is not a fancy house. They just got a big old bush in front. So here's the bush house. We're gonna walk down. Now we are heading south again. So again, gonna reiterate some of that. I'm technically calling this the right side of the block. This is heading south. Okay, so let's keep going. Got a pole right here. This is about 1/3 of the way. So somewhere in between those two poles is the halfway mark. Probably around where this big old white Ford truck is. That's probably the halfway mark of the block. Let's keep going. Oh wow, that's got a nice stairway going in the back. Some of these houses are actually surprisingly nice. And I'm not saying that to knock them. There's a lot of tract housing in San Francisco that's just barely held together by, you know, staples and by staple guns and tack glue, because a lot of these houses were built kind of poorly. So every once in a while you'll see a nice one though that's holding up. All right, very few obstacles. Very clear on the other side going south. Okay, we did our intersection analysis. So we're just going to kind of peek around. There is the slow school Xing logo on this side as well. So it's on either side of the Eucalyptus Street. And this is was it Lowell or Powell, I think? Or no, it's Lowell, excuse me, Lowell High School. I keep getting it mixed up. Lowell High School, so here's Lowell High School. Okay, great. Okay, we've now walked the interior blocks. So that's going to be 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, and Inverness. On that side's Ocean. Behind us, perpendicular, is Eucalyptus. Now what we're going to do is we're going to walk the perimeter. God, I'm tired. I'm tired and I can't think. The perimeter trail of the blocks. So what's going to happen is I'm going to walk that perimeter as I intersect all of the interior streets. I'm just going to give off the name, and then you can go to that portion of the video and watch that specific part of the clip that has that interior street mapped out for you, recorded. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the perimeter walk. Okay, we're recording now. So I'm going to point this out. That is the west. It's going towards the ocean. And here we are on actual Ocean Boulevard or whatever, Ocean Avenue, I don't know. It's Ocean Street. So what's now going to happen is we are going to walk the perimeter line, okay? So this is now heading from west to east. We are going east towards 19th Avenue. This is Ocean and Inverness, again, uncontrolled. All right, let's keep moving forward. Let's go nice and fast. Okay. Now you're going to notice something about these blocks that's kind of interesting. There's not too many obstacles. There's a little signpost, but see that driveway right there? Well, that's actually not a driveway. It's an alleyway. So I'm going to quickly just swoop down So you could very easily veer into the alley, but the advantage is that the pavement is obviously very rough. So if you veer into the alley, it's not the end of the world, because you'll be able to tell the difference between the smooth pavement and the rough, broken up kind of pavement that's all cracked and, you know, it's very pebbly. The smooth pavement's more grainy, it's like small grains of sand, and the rough pavement is very pebbly. It's like, not cobblestones, but you know, it's pebbly. Okay, here we are. This is Ocean, and I believe this is 26th. Yeah, 26th. Again, uncontrolled. Again, we are heading east. Okay, east towards 19th Avenue. And we're coming up towards another alley. A couple of trees on our left. Got too many obstacles up. So here's an alley right here you should take note of. This sidewalk is kind of rough, and the alley is also kind of rough. So you could actually end up walking down this alley thinking that you were on the sidewalk. Also, if you're looking to make like a turn at the corner of, like, let's say 25th, you might end up going halfway down the block and thinking this is where you're supposed to turn. So you got to be mindful of that. All right, let's keep walking. Let's keep walking. Okay, now this is 25th and Ocean, and this is a controlled stop. So it's a four-way controlled stop. There, and on that side. Four-way control. That's the only place that's safe to cross. It's also the widest possible crossing that you could potentially make that's safe. I was saying earlier in the clips that you can only go... Sorry about that, the battery died. So we're still on 25th, I believe, and Ocean. But what I was saying is you can only cross technically 2 driving lanes, 6 total lanes. 2 for the driving cars, 2 for the bicycle lanes, 2 for parked car lanes. Total of 6 lanes you can ever cross at any point that's safe. Okay, here is another alley. This one again has really rough ground, and you could very easily veer into it because the sidewalk is also really rough here. So let's keep going. We're now about to hit 24th. 24th and Ocean is also uncontrolled. We're gonna get through this. Okay, here we go. 24th and Ocean. Okay, stop, check, cross. This guy's creeping up behind me, so I gotta move. Okay. So here we go, another alleyway. This one's a little bit different. Looks like there's a fence. Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, here we go. So this one's interesting. You could actually probably run into that fence and figure out that you're going the wrong way. Another alley, rough dirt, rough cement. This stuff's very smooth, so you could tell the difference between the two paths of travel. You'd be able to figure out that you're walking down the alley because the ground gets super rough all of a sudden. But a couple of them are kind of harder to detect. Okay. There's kind of like a little island in the middle right there and right there, but not really safe, and I wouldn't feel comfortable stopping there because they're not elevated. So it's harder for a car to see you, and a car could just drive over it because, you know, there's nothing to deter a car from it. So I think they need to elevate that to make it an actual median strip. This is only a two-way controlled at Ocean and 23rd. So yeah, this is also an uncontrolled crossing, and you probably shouldn't cross here without assistance. Okay, so that is the perimeter line going from west to east, going down Ocean. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go up Eucalyptus. When we're going up Eucalyptus, we're going to go from east to west. We're going towards the ocean. Cool. Okay, so now we are on the easternmost corner of the 23rd and Eucalyptus intersection. We're going to walk all the way towards the west, down Eucalyptus. Let's go. Okay, there's some stop sign markings there. There's some on the other side behind us, but we're going to just keep moving. I didn't notate all the intersection markings. Just waiting for the UPS guy to pass. Sorry about that, battery died again. Here we go. So I did not get all the street markings for Eucalyptus. So what's going on now is as we pass them, I'll call them out if I see them. So this is part of intersection analysis number 1, which is the one that Wendy Schaefer's does with us as the sample lesson. There really are no markings going along Eucalyptus, so let's keep going. I don't see any markings on 24th. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's get this show on the road. Okay. Good, we are still recording. Good. Everything is moving normally. Okay. Here we are coming up on 25th, and this is, I guess, a larger avenue, but there's so far no markings either. Let's see if we can get a little bit further and see what's out here. Yeah, there's no markings over here either. There's none. Sorry about that, I just totally swung the camera around. No real markings, truncated domes. There's that driveway area right over there, and then some truncated domes here, of course, right here. So a couple little patches, but not much. And you can see I have to turn kind of in. So I'm facing in. I'm going to turn to my left and continue down the parallel line. So the truncated domes really aren't at the actual corner. They're kind of inset from the corner. They're further in. So yeah. If you watch this video and you look at the Google Maps at the same time, that'll probably give you a really good idea of what's going on. And again, today's Wednesday, so Wendy and them, their rule is no more than like 3 days in advance. So when we're meeting on Friday, right, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that means that this is still valid. But you're maybe pushing it for Saturday's lesson, but you know, whatever, close enough. Okay, so we got some stop markings, the yellow lines, truncated domes, yellow lines, more domes crossing Eucalyptus to more domes. So when we get to the other side though, you'll see there's a white stop, another white stop, another white stop. But now we're gonna come up to some of the labels. I'm gonna kind of sneak into the street real quick so you can see the slow. Okay, get out of the street real quick. You got like a weird light post. You have a light post there that they just cut in half. I guess they put this one in. I don't know. That looks like it used to be a post though. Anyway, so it says slow, school Xing. Of course, school's in the middle, Xing is at the top. Here we are again, passing another one of those alleyways. You saw that in the other clip, the alleys on the other side. You know that the alleys are midway of each of these blocks, so you know to look out for the alleys. I don't need to necessarily remind you of that. Okay. Here we go. We got the yellow stripes. Yellow stripes, yellow stripes. It's kind of like a small speed bump right there. That's like a little speed bump, not much though. Not a real speed bump, just kind of like an elevated platform, I think. Let's keep going though. Boom, we are at Inverness and Eucalyptus, and that is the entire route. We've done both sides of the outer perimeter. Watch the previous perimeter clip to get more of a detailed overview of the alleys that are intersecting each of the residential blocks. And yeah, hopefully this helps you out. See you guys later.